Hello, I'm Yvette Stoffert, the owner of Motley Muse. I teach all of these painting classes. Every time you see me on social media, that's me. I'm a one-woman show over here. So whenever you email, it's me. Um, now, I went to Northern Arizona University. I had an amazing time there, really fun. I have been creating art since honestly I was a little kid. I have a really lovely art studio, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to have this as a business. It's paying the bills, and it's really wonderful. So I'm not saying it to brag. I'm just wanting you to know that I've been around. I've taught a lot of these classes, and I'm doing well enough that people are coming back for more classes. This is what I enjoy doing. Now, when I do these classes, I like to go on the pace of the student because a lot of these designs I've already painted them. I've painted them frequently many times. For example, here was a birthday party class I did for Halloween. This is the Mad Hatter Jack, and it was for a little kid's birthday party, and they had a blast, and it was so much fun. So give me an idea of the topic of the type of painting. I studied all different kinds of painting. It's been about, I would say, around 30 years that I've been actively producing and creating, and even to this day, I am still educating myself all the time and working harder and harder each time that I paint a painting to do my best work that I can. So if you look at my catalog and you don't see a design that you're really that happy with, just talk to me, write me an email, and I will work on some designs and I'll email you back some images, and we can come up with something really cool. Now I'm going to take the class on your pace at your time frame. So if you guys just only have an hour, that's good. If you need 5 hours, I'm here for you, whatever you need. Um, we can be silly and fun and have a good time, or we can do this very structured and educational. I just kind of go with whatever it is that you want me to do. I figure it out and I go at your speed, at your pace. Now, at this time, I don't do art kits. The only reason why I don't do them is honestly, I feel that it just would be cheaper for everybody for you to just go to Michael's, honestly. I've tried to see about doing it and buying it in bulk, but they just offer such good prices, and it's not like this is not an ad. I don't make, if you buy from them or anywhere else, I don't make any money off of it. Um, but it just seems to be a little simpler. Now, in the description here, I do have where I show all of the things that I use and I recommend. So just go down. I prefer not to use the Artist Loft brand. Um, they are the cheaper of the brands, but then I feel with that company that the paint is really watered down. So I would recommend when you go to the art store to get a tier 2 or a tier 3 paint. They're a little bit better quality. The paintings come out way better, and you're gonna spend like $1 more a paint tube, but honestly, let me tell you, the end result's gonna be so much better. Now, when it comes to the Artist Loft brushes, they're good. I use them brushes. I've used all the brushes, and the Artist Loft brushes are the most cost effective. Um, Hobby Lobby's a good choice, but I have found that Michael's tends to be a bit cheaper, and they carry different brands for the most part, but it's better. It's just cheaper. Hobby Lobby's cheaper for I think a lot of the other arts, but when it comes to painting, not as much. But there's they're I don't really have anything negative to say about them. They're a good store. They're just a little bit more pricier. I used to love AC Moore. Totally loved AC Moore, but then they got it bought out by Michael. So, and then the price went up. So I've noticed that my art supplies have almost doubled. Almost doubled, not halved. They've almost doubled. Um, so that's why I don't do art kits. But I am here for the knowledge and the education. So like I use Zoom because I find that tends for what I've used and all the different companies that I've worked with, Zoom tends to be the most reliable and the most efficient, and it's also like the most user friendly compared to a lot of the other apps. Now we can do two ways. I will set up the Zoom myself and have it all situated and do all that. So the only thing you have to do is log on. That's it. Or if you want to, if you feel more comfortable, this has come up a few times, that if your company wants to keep everything, the digital information in-house, then go ahead and set it up and then just send me the link to whichever app you're using, and then I can log on. I know how to, I'm pretty good with computers, I can figure it out. So my internet is really good. I pay for a business internet, so I have the good quality internet, so I can guarantee that on my end that I'm not going to have any issues with being cut off or like I do pay for Zoom, so that way I can go longer than 40 minutes on there, and I have uh, software and different things, so that way it's not going to get hacked or anything. If you would like to record it, we could totally do that. If you don't feel comfortable with that, we don't have to. And also, what I like with the feature, most apps do this. They have a feature where you don't have to share your audio and you don't have to share your video if you don't want to. And I'm totally chill with that. Now, I will, on my end, I will share my audio and I will share my video, and I will only record if you specifically ask me to record. So that way you have it for later if you want to reference it. Or let's say not everybody was able to come to your party and you want to show it for later to make it easier for everybody, that would be totally cool. There's no additional charge for that whatsoever. Now I have been blessed that I am able to have my own business and to make my own hours. And because of that, I am super flexible. I really am. I do have a lot of things going on with my life, but if you give me advance notice, just let me know a date and a time, and I will situate my schedule. I'll figure it out and make it work out. Typically, I do teach public art classes on Saturdays, so they're a little harder on me. But if you give me advanced warning, like a month in advance, I can totally figure out my schedule and make it work. So I'm very flexible. Um, I do individual lessons as well, and I do public. And then it's I charge a little bit more for the public solely based on I have a lot more people to help and to work with, whereas individual, it's just you and me, and I don't have to stress out about a bunch of different people. So that's the difference for the price range. More individualized versus having like 50 people with 50 different questions. Um, I have a nice studio, so I mean, you see, I got my backdrop. I will have one video where you can see me and see my face and see what's going on, and then I will have another video that's facing down onto the table. I don't use an easel. I use a table, and then I'll have that video so you can see from start to finish. Now I'll have the painting on one side of the video screen so you can see what the finished painting looks like. And then I will have on the other side where you will see my hands moving, see what I do. And my style is that I like to talk a lot and stay on task with what I'm doing. So let's say we have a party and everybody's just happy-go-lucky having a good time. I'll get on the computer, we'll have a good time, social minute, maybe 5-10 minutes. When you are ready to begin, I will be ready at that, and I just tell me when to start, I'll start. And then I like to do about 5 minutes where I have the floor and I'm showing you as I'm painting, and I'm using a lot of words and a lot of descriptions to show how my brush is moving, exactly how I'm mixing the paint, everything that I'm doing. Now, after that little 5 minutes, then what I do is I go quiet. I turn off my microphone for just a few moments, and then I allow you guys to socialize, have a good time, chit chat, hang out with each other, and then we're all painting. I will wait around 10 minutes, and then about at the 10-minute mark, I will get back on the microphone and I'll say, okay, guys, who's ready for the next step? And if I get a lot of responses of people that are saying they're ready for the next step, then I go back in to another little 5 minutes where we begin the next step. But I will not go to the next step unless you tell me that you're ready for the next step. And so the parties can go. I've done them in an hour. I've done them for 5 hours. It just really, how much time does it take, really? Now, the bigger paintings, they do take longer to paint, just, a bit more surface. So for something that is like this size, this is one I recently did for a party. This size, this class took 3 hours. It was with kids. So um, it's hit or miss with the kids. Sometimes the kids speed through it and go really fast. Other times it's a lot of help that I need to give them. So this particular class lasted me 3 hours to paint it, and then you don't have to if you don't want to. But sometimes I ask, and if you want to, so I can see your screen, so you can show me with your camera or hold up your painting to the camera, whichever is easier for you, so I can see what you're doing. If there's a problem, like if you have a question and I need a little bit more like to help me, you can let me see, so then I can be okay here, and then I can give you some guidance on what to do. Now with my classes, I take the judgment out of there. I totally do. So I'm not like, oh, that's hideous. Like I'm not like that. I always try to keep it a positive, happy vibe atmosphere. I have a rule in my class that you fail if you're negative and mean just to be mean and negative. That's how you get a bad grade in my class. But I like to keep everything upbeat, light, and cheery. And where you take it's where you take it. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's up. I'm just here facilitating the teaching part. It's really more your party. Um, with the one-on-one classes, I'll take it as far as you want to go. If you want to talk about art science, we'll talk about art science. I have a couple people that I do classes with where we discuss about being an artist. So we paint and we paint together, and I'm showing techniques, and then I go above on in like more in depth on what is it that I do, how do I run my business, how was it when I went to art school, like any questions you want to ask me. I try to keep it. I prefer to keep the conversation on art. That's what you're paying me for. So I don't. There are a couple art teachers that I've taken classes from online, and because just to see what's out there. I want to see what other people are doing, and I want to see how other people are teaching their classes. So I've taken quite a few courses from a lot of the popular people out there in the internet to see how it is that they conduct their class. And I've come to this conclusion that I'm there to learn how to paint something. And it frustrates me when the teacher goes off on a tangent that's totally random and has nothing to do with the class of what we're doing. So everything that I talk about stays on topic the whole time. If you'd like to go off topic, we can. But I would prefer to keep it on the moment. So each step by step, a little bit. Here's how we're going to do. I like to start with backgrounds first and then work to foregrounds. And I take it on your level too. So if you haven't painted before, I can make a hard painting easy just by breaking it down by step and making it into little pieces that we can do at a time, and then you can achieve greatness, because this is how I learned, and this is how I continue to learn. When I'm still with my skill, I break it down into small chunks of I can do that moments. um, and then we could also do, if you wanted to, we could do a series where we can build. Like maybe we could do one a month or something, and we can build, and I can have a series of paintings that will teach different techniques, and each one will build onto the next. Because also when I was at the university, that's how they did it, and I felt like it was good. There were some times I didn't want to paint certain paintings, but then in the I'm happy that I painted them, because now I have like, oh, okay, I've got a skill set now that I'm like, yeah, okay, now, and then I come back to other paintings and I'm like, yeah, well, I got this new technique now. So we can do that. I do public classes too. I am in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Um, I prefer not to travel so far. I am willing to travel in Blair County, but after that, that's just too far. Like for me to be driving back and forth once a week, it's too much. It's too much for me to drive 5 hours once a week. Get what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be driving over here to Ohio. um, if you wanted me to do a seminar, I could totally do it. I mean, this is my business. So, if you gave me a good offer, I would be interested. I've done a couple of classes in Disney where they have flown me down and put me in a hotel. And I've done some painting parties, and it was good for their business because it brought them customers. I do have quite a good following on social media, so that could be something if you were interested. But it is my business. This is my sole income. So if you want to compensate for hotel and stuff like that, I'd be totally interested in traveling. Just give me a little, like, 2-3 weeks notice, so that way I can get myself situated and figure out, because I do have a lot of classes. I never cancel classes. Like, I have to practically be on my deathbed before I cancel, and I just don't want to screw someone over like that. So if you do have to cancel, the sooner you let me know, the better, because then I can figure out and totally network and situate what I'm doing. So that way I'm not sitting here just waiting and then nobody logs on. So please communicate with me. And in the event, which I don't expect anything bad to happen, but in the event that something did happen, like I got into a car crash or something that was totally tragic and like, oh my God, and like I totally could not log on, as soon as it happens and I am able to, I will email you and let you know that, oh my goodness, and I'm not going to make up some dumb, stupid excuse. I'm going to really, if something is like my husband dies, I'm going to let you know, okay? But nothing's gonna happen. I'm good. I'm good. So when I say that I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna be there. I usually typically like to be there 5 minutes before the start time so that I'm logged in, ready to go. I have my art studio set up so that I have all my art supplies that I need. They are right there on the table with me, so that way I don't have to hold on, guys. And my recordings are very professional. I don't like to have, there's not going to be random music or people in the background or anything that's awkward. It's going to be very professional. And I studied film a little bit, so you're going to get a quality video and you're going to get a quality class out of me. And I also want to take a minute. Thank you so much for patronizing my business. Thank you. Seriously, honestly, thank you so much. And just it's helping me to keep my little dream alive, and thank you. Like, really, thank you. So yeah, I look forward to your email. Let me know. Now I'm always updating my website too. So as my classes book, I take them off my website and then I add new dates up there. I've been pretty blessed to be kind of booked a whole bunch. So thank you for that. I greatly appreciate it. Also, I'm not sure if you're like connected, but I'm using social media. I've got like 9 different platforms I'm on. It's all the same name with the same logo. Every time I come out with a new design, I put it up there on all of them. So like maybe you don't see something you like now, but just stick around for a while, because I'm always going, like, I do classical, modern. I do a lot of different styles of art, because that's what I get asked. Like, some people are really into certain styles. Some people are like, oh my God, never. So because of that, I'm always all over the place with different styles. So if you don't see something now that you like, just hang out for a little bit, because I'll cycle through. I am planning for the spring to do a lot of flowers, because that's been requested a lot, and I have fun doing flowers. I just love them. And then in the winter, I've noticed that a lot of people tend to gravitate towards seasonal. So like Christmas tree, pumpkins, Easter bunny. I tend to get a lot of that. So I've got a lot of designs, and I'm always coming up with something new. I mean, there's only so many ways you can paint a pine tree, but I try to change it up a little bit here and there. So yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. If there's any questions, please email me. I will get back to you as soon as I can. I have it connected on my phone, so it dings, it shows me right there in the notifications. I pride myself that I will never allow more than 24 hours to go. before I answer a message. I'm kind of a stickler on that. It's my own personal little thing. So yeah, I'm excited.